with the open hearts, and thank you for being here at the Ixchel Energy. Today I wanted to address a question about codes and what I see, and I think I already did a video regarding light language and how I didn't think it was me channeling something else, another entity. I think it's just me tapping into another me. So anyway, with the codes, they kind of came in at the same time that my light languages came in. The light languages is very interesting because it was a time when we had the most horrendous winter and my pipes burst. I thought the pipes burst because we didn't have water in the house. So I had some time to sit. I have to, and I kept hearing, and then because I was, just sitting trying to ponder what I'm gonna do. We don't have water. We went to the gym because we had a gym membership, and so we took showers there, and it was crazy. It was like 10 days without running water in the house. But I remember that's when I actually actually started talking, and these sounds that I heard in my head. And I know some people think I probably need a medication or I was crazy, but I actually went ahead and just talked to myself, recorded myself speaking this. The other time, the first time I spoke in public was in one of my sister's ceremonies. It was a Mayan ceremony, and I just kept feeling it was coming. No, like, I'm gonna say something. I don't want to say it there. I was trying to keep my mouth shut, and it just kept building. And because I was resisting, I was trying to keep my mouth shut. I remember it came out very strong. It came out like angry, like. And so now I just try to let it flow. And I got to the point that I let it flow so much that I'm walking around and I just talk. And I'm in the parking lot, and I'm just talking to the grass because that's what I was gonna do. And I talked to the grass, and there was people walking behind me, and they just like, but it's been a couple of years of growth from the moment that I told you the pipes were frozen, and I had time to gather myself about this going on in my energy field of languages and sounds. And then in this ceremony where we were sitting there, it was my sister's fire ceremony, and I was trying to hold it back, and it came out really strong. So after that, I also wanted to tell you, with the solar eclipse of 2017 in August with the Lionsgate, something happened to my eyes. I'm not gonna get to that. I did not use these glasses before the eclipse. However, I lost a lot of the physicality, lost the ability to see details, which this time around I came in under the Virgo sun. So if you are into astrology, Virgo loves details, and I will get stuck in details. I wanted to do things beautiful and perfect. And after the solar eclipse of 2017, I understood. It took me a while, it took me many months to understand that I needed to walk away from the details, that getting things done was better than waiting until they were perfect. So done is better than perfect. You just need to do it the best you can and move on. And there was other things that came in after the eclipse. Many months after, I went to a meditation group that they invite me here and then. A couple of years go by, I don't see them, and then they invite me. So I went, and there was a master there, and there were 2 awakened masters. And I went because I really loved this beautiful man. And it happens that they had a car accident on the way to the meditation gathering, and he couldn't make it. However, the lady at the house, because we were all gathered already there, he was able to stream with the internet, with some kind of application. So she put the TV on, and he had the talk, and we all listened to the talk that we had all signed up to hear. And but afterwards, he says, and my wife is here, and my wife is going to be giving blessing. So she gave us blessing through the eyes. And I don't know if you know about this. I love to look at Mother Mira pictures and Braco pictures, or some people call it Brasso, because they do give blessings with the eyes. So this was totally new to me on that one day, because I came to experience his information, his message. But after he was done, his wife came to the screen. So they were not physically there. They went back home because she was pregnant at the time and they had a car accident. So they turned around and they went back home. And they did this on the TV. So all she did was to look at us. And we were to look at her eyes. And after a couple of minutes, I just saw myself as a brand new baby, then as a toddler, then as a, elementary school child, and like that, progressively until the moment I was sitting there in front of her. And this is her face on the screen, and we were all there. So we all had, and I'm assuming we didn't talk after this was done. Everybody left. We didn't speak to each other. We just say, good night and left. So I'm assuming everybody was there and everybody received what they were needing to receive on that moment. And there was a few months back that I had the experience with the 2017 eclipse, solar eclipse. So when I left, it was not dark yet. It was summertime, so it doesn't get dark here until really late. So I'm driving, and as I'm driving, I looked, and the whole sky was a grid. It was a light grid. It was, it was a grid, like this, like a flower of life type of thing. And I'm driving and I'm looking, and then I look, and then I see also a different kind of grids for the buildings, the trees, which were absolutely stunningly beautiful. And I came into my house, it was a grid, everything. And this lasted for a couple of hours. But what stayed with me too was my experience to have seen myself as the witness of my story of a child, toddler, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old. I saw all that as the witness. And that's when I started opening up. I'm about dropping the story. So if you have followed me on Facebook for a while, you see the different posts. Back then, I was doing a lot about, you are not your story, you are not your symptoms, you are not your disease, you are not your trauma, you are not your depression, you are not your anxiety. I said, you are the, you're experiencing a wave of anxiety, you're experiencing grief because of this experience that happened, but you are not that. So that's what was happening, and I was posting a lot about that. So this happened, and that's when I started seeing the codes. And sometimes I write them down, sometimes I don't. So I just wanted to show you. This is like the one I saw on, I think this was Monday. This was up in the sky. And I always write down the dates and the calendar date here, the Mayan calendar. This is what I saw. And then this was from yesterday. Okay. And this was in the bottom, on the grass. This is what I was saying. And I'm walking around and I saw it. And sometimes I just see them and it's done. But sometimes I see them and I have to speak it. So like the ones from the grass, I went ahead and I spoke, and there was people coming behind me, and I'm sorry if I scared them. But so that's what happens. Sometimes I see them with my eyes open. Sometimes I see them with my eyes closed. When they began, I would see them with my eyes closed. They would be like a waterfall coming in through my third eye. It was a waterfall. And as they came, I could hear the sound of them. Then about, I would say about 3 months ago, I saw in my meditation, there was a beautiful wall, a stone wall with a fire on the bottom. So it was all these copper orange colors, and I saw them there. And as I put my hand in the wall, I was sounding the words. So I'm still in the process of trying to feel the meaning of it. Most of the time I get it. Sometimes my lower mind gets in the way, and it's like, I don't get it. But I do my best, every time. So I just wanted to say that is code. Sometimes, like again, like the pillars of light, they come in colors. Sometimes it's just one color, all of them, and sometimes it's different colors. Sometimes are just waves, like you see the ocean when the waves come in and go, I see that, like it would be a wave of white codes and go, and then a wave of blue, like a lot of indigo, deep, very deep blue, come and then go, and then another wave of white codes. There are days that just like that. So for a beautiful person that asked me what were key codes and codes, it's just information. That's pretty much it. It's just information that comes to you. Just like when you see, you hear a song on the radio, when you see the name of the street that you're crossing, that's just information. And there are no coincidences, as you know already. So this information is put in your face for you to know something. So like when one time I got cut off in traffic, and I was just about to get very upset. And then I said, no, that person needed to go, obviously. So I sent them myself and just blessed them. And it was such a peace. And then as soon as it was my turn to go, the next car that I would not have seen if I was mad and going after the guy, the next car had a license plate of Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And I just lost. I was cracking up. I was laughing. I was so happy. Going all the way. It was like, of course, there are no coincidences. So anyway, back to the codes. So that's what it is. And the same thing when I do, if I'm talking to somebody, there might be codes behind them or in their field. When I do, like the other videos that you've seen, when I do light language, I see the codes. So usually is my finger, I would just take, it goes like, and I just write the codes, or another hand will shape, I don't know, it'll go and write the codes. And if sometimes they come in a bowl, there's a lot of codes in it, and I need to work that and bring it to a moment of release, and then I release them. So that is about codes. So thank you so much for your question. I do read your comments, the questions. You can see my the email is ixchelenergy@gmail.com, and like you can find in the website ixchelenergy.com. And if you need to reach me, that's the best way, through the website ixchelenergy.com. Thank you so much for coming with your open mind and your open heart. Thank you so much for remembering we are the angels. Thank you so much for sharing, thumbs up, and subscribing. Thank you so much for your beautiful, beautiful heart. Divine blessings. Namaste.